So let's go ahead and get started. I want to go over a couple of concepts like I did last week, and then we'll give you your assignment. It's going to be a real fun one this week. I hope you have fun. It will require some color. So hopefully you've got some either markers at home or colored pencils. I actually went to Target. I called Target while I did the online ordering on Saturday, and I ordered pencils and paper, and of course it's curbside pickup. Now you go and they've got it ready for you because they're trying to encourage you not to go to the grocery store. And I went to the grocery store yesterday, and they had very few employees working, which I thought was great. And they had shields up for the cashier and the bag person. You got to stay 6 feet away from the bag. I thought that was great because don't forget, these people they have to see us every day and come in contact with us. So I just picked up a few things, some cold hot dogs and things like that. So everybody's being safe. I hope everyone's being safe. So today, let's talk about something that's really important for supervisor managers, and that's delegating. And if you don't know what delegating is, it's real simple. It's getting somebody else to do your work for you, okay? That sounds kind of simple, but the best managers are the ones that are able to get folks to help them out. They're able to delegate. They're able to assign tasks to other people to help them. Okay, imagine you have a big report coming up for your class, or you've got some project you're working on and you need help. You can't do everything yourself. So what you do is you decide who can help you with the report, and you give everybody something to do. That's delegation, and it's very important for managers to delegate. Believe it or not, there are a lot of managers who do not delegate. They're the ones that try to do everything themselves, and they almost always will fail. Okay, you have too much to do. We talked last week about how much the supervisor has to do. So the supervisor cannot do everything on their own. Okay, even Miss Ross, she's a supervisor of the Tightens Up program. She can't do everything herself, so she will delegate different tasks to different administrators to help her out, because we just can't do everything ourselves. And there's some things that we're not good at. So think of delegation like that. Think of a manager that can delegate. They're the ones that can design the tasks for their employees, and they know what they're doing. So you would not give a task to somebody who doesn't want to do something or doesn't know how to do something. So that's important too. We'll talk about that. So it's a delegation of authority. Okay, authority is I'm in charge. I am authorized over you. I have power over you. That's authority. So giving that power to somebody else, that's a great thing in management. Managers who are bad do not give people authority, okay? So if you've got parents or friends, or you know those people, the ones that are very bossy, you know them, okay? They're the ones that just don't want to give up power. But unfortunately, for all of us to work together, we've got to delegate authority. We've got to give people power, okay? Not all the time. I mean, there's some things that you need to do yourself, and there's some things that people need to do for themselves. But you've got to feel comfortable as a manager, as a leader, okay, to give some power away. It's okay. Okay, my kids love Star Wars, the movie Star Wars, and we've been watching some of the Star Wars movies over the break. And Darth Vader, you know Darth Vader, he's mean and he doesn't give any authority, okay? So he just is a bad person, okay? But think of somebody, if you watch movies, any kind of movies that you really like, there's always somebody who's able to give some authority to people to group together, okay? To group together as a team and give authority so that people can work together, okay? And for a manager, it's creating like a job description. And some of you haven't heard of a job description. That's just a description of what you have to do in your job, okay? So good managers are able to give you a job description, very clear. Here's what you have to do. The job description includes your duties, okay? Here are your duties. These are the things you have to complete, and we'll give you a time. You will have a time, there will be a due date, or there will be an end date to the project or to the duty, but giving that authority away as a manager is very important. You can't do all of the tasks yourself. You will not be a successful manager. You'll go crazy. You'll be stressed out, you'll be tired, and you will not be very effective. And people won't want to be around you. So you know the managers. If you've met people, either managers or friends or anyone that you know that is very stressed out and cannot let go. We say let go. You know, what's the movie? Frozen. Let it go, let it go. I know that's kind of funny. I don't know if you guys like Frozen. You may be too old for Frozen, but my kids like Frozen. They won't admit it. They're boys. They won't admit it, but they love Frozen. And the movies, that's what it's about, letting go. So as a manager, you need to be able to give authority to people, okay? And that just requires a lot of accountability. That's a big word, accountability. And accountability simply means that you are taking responsibility for something. So when you become a manager or when you become a leader, it's up to you to take this accountability. That means that it's your fault, and that's hard for people. Okay, people don't want it to be their fault. Okay, we don't want to be wrong. Okay, I don't like being wrong. I hate being wrong. When my kids tell me I'm wrong, or my husband tells me I'm wrong, or my mom, I get very upset because I'm very, very, very stressed all the time. I'm crazy like that. But there are times when you need to be wrong, okay? And that's okay, because what you can do from that is you learn. You learn what is best to do. So that's accountability, okay? I like this cartoon. This is the king. The king is actually painting the lines on the street, okay? And it's funny because he's the king. He shouldn't be doing a job like this. That's the joke, okay? You have to delegate some authority, is what the queen is saying to him, okay? You got to delegate something. You can't be the one painting the lines on the sidewalk, okay? You're the king. So as the king, as the supervisory manager, who is the king in the organization, okay, you have got to let people help you. And some of the tasks you just cannot do yourself. If you follow any great leader in history, if you look up leaders in history like Martin Luther King Jr. or Mother Teresa, or even Oprah. Oprah's a really good delegator. Okay, in the beginning, it was really tough for her to get started, but then Oprah was able to delegate and trust and give authority. Okay, so you like this here? Okay, so decentralization is giving people that power, okay? Letting everybody work together. It's like a stream, okay? The stream, the river comes down, okay? And then the stream goes out from the river, okay? Kind of like, let's see if I'll use my board for the first time. So you've got the river. Here's the big river, okay? And it has tributaries. So these little tributaries come out, okay? These little tributaries. So think of delegation as that. The supervisory manager, they have to follow the path of the river. It's their responsibility to make sure that the river runs smoothly, okay? But then these tributaries come out, and these are different areas where you can have different tasks, okay? Tasks. And each one of these tributary think of as a task, okay? Something that's branching away where we're able to get everything done. And then everybody comes down to the very end. Here's the end, okay? And then here is the final product, okay? So the river is the main stream. It is your main goal, the things you have to get done, and the tributaries are the tasks. And as the king or the supervisory manager, you need to be able to assign those tasks. And this is decentralization. Everything isn't coming from one center point, okay? Everything isn't coming from one center point. It's fluid. Okay, I know that's a lot to take in right now, but think of how water is fluid. Okay, it doesn't have a solid form until it freezes, of course. If you take science class, you know that water freezes, okay? But when it's liquidy, it has its own form and flexibility. And that's what a supervisory manager needs to be aware of. There's got to be fluid and flexibility, and not a centralization of everything. Everything just doesn't come from the center, okay? Everything has different shapes and different sizes, okay? So let's talk about power. Power is a big thing. In management class, when you take a management degree, they spend a lot of time on power and conflict. And we all know what conflict is, okay? Conflict is when you just don't agree with somebody, okay? And it could lead to a fight. It could lead to you not talking to somebody, but there's a lot of conflict in our life right now, and we need to work on that. So we can do that by understanding what power means, okay? And there's two different types of power. There's reward power, okay? Reward power. And this is positive rewards. So if you do this for me, I will reward you with money, okay? Or with presents, or with whatever motivates you. Okay, that's reward power. Most of us are used to that. We go to work, or we go to school, or we do the things that we need to do, and we're rewarded. My kids just got the honor roll in school. They got honor roll. They just got, it was sent in a PowerPoint, okay? But they got their honor roll, and now this morning they were rewarded with iTunes cards. They love to play video games on their iPads, so they got an iTunes card each, and that was their reward for doing a good job. So that was me with my power rewarding them with something for doing a good job, okay? And then there's coercive. This is a big word, coercive power. Okay, and that is when somebody gets you to do something you really don't want to do. You do it because you have to do it. That's coercive, okay? So getting someone to do something and they really just don't want to do it, but they do it anyway, okay? So we have reward power, where you're going to work for me, I'll give you a paycheck, or I'll give you gifts, or whatever the transaction is. Or coercive power, which is I'm manipulating you. Okay, and in some situations that's not good. We know that. We don't want to work for a supervisory manager who is constantly using manipulation. Although in some situations we do see that coercive power does have some positivity. Okay, not always, but in some situations, maybe like working in a very stressful position, working in something that's very time consuming, you're on a deadline, a strict deadline. Okay, sometimes managers use that kind of power, that stress, that drive to get people to work even faster. It's not always effective, okay? I think we all know that we would rather be rewarded than manipulated, okay? I think you guys know that, okay? So power now, this is the ability to influence others, okay? Groups, people, into making decisions. And that's really important when you're a manager, any type of manager. You have to know what your power is, and you have to know how to use it. And you want to use it for good. You want your employees to complete the tasks, okay? It's very important that your employees complete their tasks and do the things that they need to do, okay? It's very important. So you want to make sure you use that power. So the best way to get power, more power, is to share it, okay? Or delegate it. Delegate or share power. And that's really hard for people. Okay, there's a lot of us that just do not want to give up power, okay? There's a lot of us who are very strong-willed. I am. I don't like giving up power. But I find that when I entrust some power to my children or my husband or my friends, we get along a lot better, okay? So think of a time when you were really just strong-willed and just did not want to share. Okay, we have that a lot. We do that a lot. My kids fight over toys, or they might fight over a video game, or they might fight over a TV show they want to watch. But giving that sharing, giving away some of that power is very, very effective. So direct the power toward the benefit of the organization. Remember, supervisory managers work for an organization, and it's their goal to make sure that power is spread equally among their employees, among their subordinates, the people that work for them, okay? So power motivated leaders make their subordinates feel stronger. So if you feel like someone has trusted you with something or is sharing something with you, you feel much more powerful. Okay, much more powerful. You want to get out there. You want to get stuff done if a manager can give you power. So this idea of empowerment, we hear this a lot. You guys have heard the word empowerment before. We use it a lot in our mission statements. You know, we are the company that is empowering our employees. And what does that mean? That simply means that you're giving power to your employees to do the things that they need to do. You're delegating authority. That's all that empowerment is. Delegating some authority, delegating that power to make us feel good. Okay, if you're working in an organization with a lot of people, let's say even a restaurant, you work in a restaurant, everyone needs some power. Everyone needs to feel like everything that they are doing is contributing to everything that everyone is doing. Okay, does that make sense? Let me know if you have any questions. You can put it in the chat room. But it's important for us to share, and we want to empower people. Okay, we embrace the idea that individuals closest to work and the customers can make the decision. So if you work in an organization where you are always talking to the customers, we want to give you some power to make some decisions when you're working with that customer. Okay, think of a retail store, think of a restaurant. These people that work on the front, we call it the front line, those are people who are dealing directly with customers. We want to make sure they know that they have some empowerment. Okay, so if you're in a restaurant, let's say you're a waitress or a hostess or a host, you have some power to make some decisions. Let's say somebody sends their food back and they're not very happy. Before you even call the manager, your manager may allow you to offer them a free meal. Your manager may allow you to offer them a coupon, whatever it takes, without even getting the manager involved. Okay? So choosing the right people is key to operating this culture of empowerment. So you want to get the right people on your team, okay? And we'll talk about that. So why do leaders fail? Why do a lot of leaders not want to delegate? There's a reason why we don't want to delegate. We don't want to share, okay? A lot of us do not want to share. Okay, we are happy with what we have, we're happy with the things that we're doing, and we don't want to share. So we have a perception that by sharing that, we give up our power. Okay, I know this is a lot coming at you, but it's important to know that sharing some of that power to get work done is okay. It's okay. All right, and we'll talk more about that. I'll show you a little exercise. So a lack of trust. If you don't have trust in your employees, then you're not going to share that power. If you have no trust in the people that you work with or your friends or your team members, it's going to be very difficult for you to want to share your power. And then insecurity. We're all insecure. Okay, we all feel insecure all the time. That's just who we are. We're human. Okay, we feel insecure. And that just means that sometimes we just don't feel like getting out there and sharing our ideas. Because why? Because we're afraid somebody might just totally laugh at us. Okay, so don't ever be afraid to be laughed at. Don't ever be afraid to be fired. I've been fired from many jobs, and my students always laugh at me. Oh, Professor Kishbaugh, we like you. How did you get fired? Well, because I have an attitude problem sometimes, okay? And then managers have the attitude problem with me. We have an attitude problem, and we just don't see eye to eye. So you get fired, and it happens. So what do? You go home, you eat a whole bucket of ice cream, okay? And then you cry for about a half hour, and then you get back and you find a new job. Okay, you go back and you find a new job, and you just keep looking for that job or that position until you get to a place where you feel really good and secure. Okay, so subordinates need training. So recognizing as a manager, if you want to delegate, you have to train people. So train them in the best way that you know. Train them into how they can do the tasks. If there's something specific you want them to do, you've got to train them. Give them a manual, give them a book, give them, when you guys are in class, we like to give you a textbook. That's part of a class. Read some of the textbook. Here's where you can get some of the knowledge, and then we'll give you a quiz, or we'll ask you about the quiz later. That's how we learn, okay? That's how we gain knowledge. So the same thing in a business. In a business, train your people. If there's something specific you want them to learn, provide a training course. Okay, with everybody being home now and being on the Zoom calls, there's a lot of training going on right now. There are a lot of businesses right now, they know their employees are home, so they've developed new training programs over the phone, over the video phone, and they're training people now. This is a good opportunity for everybody to learn, relearn. School, people are going back to school. We're seeing the numbers in enrollment increase across the country. People are going back to school right now because they're stuck at home and they want to learn something new. So we have a lot of people that are going through new schooling, new training to learn all these skills, okay? So some of the things why we may not want to delegate could be that we just do not have the clear responsibilities. Remember, as a supervisor, you must give your employees a job description and you must keep on top of their job duties. Those duties are in the job description. Those are the things that you have to accomplish. Okay, and then this fear of failure. This is a reason why a lot of employees just don't want to delegate themselves, a fear of failure. Okay, we're going to fail. That's part of life. I was just doing a lecture on entrepreneurship on Tuesday for my business students. And one of the things that all entrepreneurs do is they fail. They don't have a very successful business their first time out. They might fail several times before they find that business that's successful. So don't be afraid of failure. You can always get yourself back up and get back into the game. I'm a small person, I'm short, I'm only 5 foot tall, and my whole life people have made fun of me for being short, for being small. Hey, Shrimpy, hey, Shorty, hey, yeah, hey, what happened? Your mom and dad, what, they had to have a short person? Yo, what's wrong with you? Okay, my whole life. So did I give up? Was I afraid to fail? Sure, many times. Many times I did not want to do something because I was afraid that someone would call me short or someone would call me stupid or dumb, okay? I've gone through that my whole life, okay? And now I'm doing okay. I'm a professor. I have 2 great kids. I have a great house. I almost finished my PhD. We'll finish that later, okay? But it's just, you got to be afraid of failure. Failure is a part of all of our businesses and our life, okay? And then increased stress. One of the reasons why we may not want to delegate, it may create too much stress for us. Really, delegation should make you happy. It should really take things off your shoulders and allow you to give some of that stress to somebody else, okay? All right. So this is just a quick learning module. I'm going to go over it very quickly, but basically what we want to do is we want to do, okay? We want to gain some experience, okay? So as an employee then, we want to gain our experience, we want to do what we need to do. Then we need to identify what happened in that situation. So let's say I delegate you a project, you go ahead and you perform that project. Now I'm going to come back as the supervisor and we're going to talk about the project. How did it go? Did it go okay? Did you do okay? What did we do good? And what can we improve upon? And that's very important in delegation, is to come back after everything is done and say, what can we do differently? Okay, let's talk about the things that worked. Now let's talk about the things that didn't work. And probably the things that didn't work are going to be the ones that you can improve upon the most, okay? And then we'll analyze. We'll see what factors. Let's go back to our river. We have the river here. What are some things that could affect the river from flowing? Could be rocks getting in the way. It could be trees getting in the way. And we're just using this as an example. But there are going to be things that get in the way. So we need to analyze that and talk about it. And then we grow from that. We draw our conclusions and we talk about what we can do differently. So it's really important that we're always in this cycle of learning, this cycle of leading, okay, and learning as managers. We don't have all the right answers. If we did, we would all be super rich, okay? But we don't have the answers, and we have people, and we need to build trust. We need to release that power, okay? We have power inside us, And it's okay to release some of that power and give somebody else an opportunity to help us, okay? So we got some of the benefits then of delegation would be you develop amazing employees, okay? Your employees become trustful, they like you, and they want to work for you, okay? They get to a point where they're expecting that delegation and they embrace that delegation. So if you can truly be a supervisor and empower people, that is wonderful. It takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of time, but your employees will like you, they'll want to work for you, and they will just do anything they need to do to get everything on track, okay? Control, you can control the business a little bit better, okay? Time management, if you're able to delegate and your employees are on board, time management is wonderful. Okay, that's probably one of our biggest hangups in management is time management. It's hard for us to balance our work, our families, our school. It's hard to balance time management, okay? And then enhanced power. This is my favorite, enhanced power. That means that now you've got some power as an employee. Now you can continue to work on that. And as you grow as an employee, because you receive some power, so does the manager. A great supervisory manager is a happy person. They have people with them who empower them. So not only is it up to the manager to empower their employees, it's also up to the manager to become empowered, okay? Nobody wants to work for a manager who's a big old bully, okay? A big old bossy bully, okay? My kids are home from school, which most of us are all home from school now, and they love me because I'm their mommy, but they do not like me as their teacher. They calling me bossy, bully. It's kind of funny. It's funny, and I get frustrated, and I have to walk out of the room, and I have to smile and laugh. But my boys are great; they're wonderful. But they would rather have their teacher because their teacher is a teacher. I'm a professor, and I love to teach people about business, but I'm not an elementary school teacher. And there's just something special about elementary school teachers. They get kids, they get what's going on, and it's just been very stressful. I yelled at my son the other day and he said, "Mommy, you know, this is very stressful for me too." And that was a big wake-up call for me. So now when we get stressed or we're frustrated, we stop everything. We just leave the computers on the table. We don't touch anything. And we just go outside and take a quick walk. And we just breathe. Here, and it's basically, you're going to draw a pie chart for me, okay? And just draw a circle. And so think as a coach, just kind of in your mind, it could be something you do with your friends. It could be something you do at home. The example I have, I'll show you in a minute, is something you can do at home. Like, who in your house walks the dog? Who in your house picks up the garbage? Okay, so you're the coach of your team. So give your team a name. Okay, give it a name. Could be anything you want it to be. So give your team a name. Okay, and then you're going to give everyone on your team a job. And then we're going to draw the chart. And here's an example of a duties chart. And this is my household. Can you guess who does the green? Can you guess who does the big part? That's me. Keeps everyone on task. That's mommy. Okay. Basically, I just did this on Excel. And so Betty is the one in green. Okay. And Betty keeps everyone on track. Okay. So I'd like you to use color. You can use color if you guys have crayons or pencils, colored pencils, whatever you have at home. And just basically divide up. If you have pencil is fine. What I'd like you to do, start to think to yourself, what kind of tasks can you delegate on your team, and who's going to do the most work on the team? So in this instance, it would be me. It would be mom. Okay, mom does most of the work. That's me. Okay, and let me go back here. I'm going to stop sharing so you can see my board now. Okay, so here's my board. So here's mom. I'm in green. Okay, I do the majority of the work here, pay the bills. I'm sorry, my husband pays the bills. I keep everyone going. Okay, I'm the king of this castle. Okay, and then maybe then you can do, I had take out the trash, put out the trash. That's my son. So he puts out the trash, and that's Ian. He's my little guy, Ian, okay? He takes out the trash. And then you got
Aw.
Daddy, and the daddy, we call him Daddy. I call my husband Daddy now. It's kind of fun. I couldn't wait to do that as an adult. So Daddy does the bills, okay? He does the anything technology. Okay, he folds laundry. He even folds laundry. My husband does the laundry, okay? He does the laundry. And then here we got Gavin. Well, Gavin doesn't do much. He's my 11-year-old. He's pretty useless. Don't laugh. He plays video games. So Gavin is going to make the money. Gavin is the money maker in the household. Gavin is the one that's going to go out and get the first $1 billion for us, okay? And then we'll say the dog, if we have the dog. And even the dog has a responsibility in our house. And his responsibility is to make everybody laugh. I went out for a walk yesterday morning, and the dog across the street, I don't have a dog for real. The dog across the street was attacking another dog. And this man said to me, "Is that your dog?" I said, "No." So, and then when the man walked away, I was like, "Hey, Riley, come here." So it was kind of funny. Anyway, I'm not a dog person. I like cats, okay. So if you want to use colors, I'm okay with that. Anything you want to use, but I'd like you to create a pie chart, and it can be for anything. It could be for your friends if you want to do a team of your friends, or you want to do a team of the people that are living with you right now. You want to do a team if you do have a job right now and you're working. Maybe you can do a team at work. And basically, I want you just to draw this pie chart, and you're going to divide it into the sections of how much work you think that these people provide. Okay, how can you delegate? Who do you need to delegate to? Don't put, you can put yourself. I put myself on the chart right here, mommy. You can put yourself on the chart. You can give yourself a job, but the goal is for you to be able to show me that you can split up the jobs, okay? That this person can do this, and this is how much they can do. Don't worry about money or percentages or things like that. Just kind of do a chart based on what you think your team can work on, okay? Okay, so you're the coach of your team, whatever team it is. If you want to do work, if you have a job, you can do a work team. If you want to do friends, a group of friends. If you want to do your family, like I've done here, I've done family, okay, an example of family. Or you can do, and then give everyone on your team a job. So let's say you have 4 or 5 people on your team, give everybody a job to do, a task, okay? And then draw the circle chart like I've done for you, and just kind of divide what you think people contribute to the team. Okay, and some people are going to do a lot more work than others. If you've got a group of friends, or you do have a job where you have a really good team, and you know there's some people who are doing a little bit more than other people, you can put that on there as well. Okay, so this is an idea. This is something to get you started into thinking about delegation and getting rid of some of that power. Okay, I can't run my household. Okay, I can't run my household all by myself. Okay. I'd like to think that I'm a very strong person, and I am a strong person, but with all the things that are going on right now, and the kids are home from school, and everybody's got to work from home, we all have to work together. And there are some things, like you can see on my chart, there are some things that we're doing. Some of us are doing a little bit more than others, but obviously I have small children, so they're not going to be able to pay the bills, not yet anyway. And they're not going to be able to do some of the things that my husband and I can do, but they definitely are contributing to this team. Okay, and everybody right now that's home with their families, because we can't go out, hopefully all the families are putting together some kind of plan to keep us from really just being so stressed out that we just don't even want to get up in the morning. Okay, so this is your assignment for the week.